I think of all the live action ones that are coming out, I am most excited about Dumbo.
Dumbo. Yeah, now I am.
Now okay, Dumbo is one of my favorite animated films, and I mean like favorite, and I'm starting to tear up right now, just the thought of Dumbo and then his mom, and like the whole story is just glorious. And even the songs, I love the songs, and I know they were kind of controversial now, but I mean that's how they were at the time.
That's history. I mean, you can't really cut up movies. That's like burning books.
No, exactly.
It's history, and it's not all good, but...
Which, did you hear that Whoopi Goldberg is trying to get people to bring back Song of the South?
That would be amazing. Yeah. Song of the South...
not because she really likes it, but just because she wants the historical...
It's history.
It's important.
It's like a book. I mean, you can't just say, I don't like what this is, so let's get rid of it.
Right.
I mean, you're going to forget your past, and then you're doomed to repeat it, that old thing. But Song of the South has some things in it that are definitely not... but the story is actually about this amazing interracial friendship of this man and this little boy. He didn't care about anybody as much as he cared about Uncle Remus.
Right.
Uncle Remus was the only person who his voice could revive him after he got attacked by this bull. This little boy is like unconscious.
I need to see that movie
again. And he didn't respond to his parents' voices. He responded to Uncle Remus's voice. Uncle Remus was the only one that made him happy.
His like father figure almost.
He was everything to that little boy. And I mean, it's got things that aren't good in it, as but it's got a good heart to it.
Yeah.
The main story, the main point of the story.
Yeah.
It's got gorgeous animation.
It's sad that people don't see it that way because they can't get past the other stuff.
I get the other stuff. I get the issues with the other stuff.
But still.
Yeah, I know you do. It's just, but you're right. It's like, just view it as a time capsule because it's a time capsule.
Right.
All these old things are time capsules. I mean, and there's going to be bad things about it because the people had some bad ideas.
I mean, they didn't throw They didn't throw Gone with the Wind out.
Yeah, and there's some horrible things in Gone with the Wind.
So I mean,
some horrible representations. I
mean, it's truthful representation. Well, not like the
the stereotypes,
not the portrayal.
And
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the slaves and that aspect. Like there were slaves, obviously. So
but there's stuff in there that's really bad with the slaves and stuff. No, but I know what you're saying, and it's a time capsule of how people thought at the time that those movies were made,
right?
And and there's so much other stuff in that movie. It's kind of like the whole thing now with like you either have to love a movie or hate a movie, and like most movies have entertainment value of some kind or informational value. I mean, they have some value.
Yeah.
It's just like a book. There's usually something, maybe not all books. Maybe there's some really horrible books, but you know what I mean.
But anyway, Michael Keaton is going to be in Dumbo, and I'm super excited about that.
Michael Keaton's going to be in Dumbo. We can assume the crows will either be different or not in there.
Danny DeVito's going to be
Danny DeVito's going to be in there. And Dumbo is going to be in it. And I'm excited about Michael Keaton.
So they unveiled
what Dumbo's going to look like.
And everybody's saying he looks creepy, but I think he looks cute.
He looks just like he does in the cartoon.
He doesn't have the chub that Dumbo usually has.
He kind of does.
Like there's maybe a little more chub needs to be around the face.
I don't know.
But I think he looks cute, so.
He looks amazing. I think he looks just like Dumbo, but live action.
I agree.
And I'm very excited to see this movie. My only concern, like you have concerns about Mary Poppins. Right now, I'm okay. I think Mary Poppins Returns, so far, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be amazing, and I hope it is. It still could not be. But my concern is with Dumbo, and my concern is that they're not going to they're not going to focus on Dumbo.
Right.
Because that's a problem that like a lot of people have said. The Transformers movies, they're not about the Transformers as much as they're about some human character.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing to Dumbo. They are making it.
It's a lot about these people.
It's about the humans in it, which kind of makes me sad. I mean, that's not cool. I don't know.
We'll see.
But I know that it's gonna be Tim Burton, and even though I'm a little afraid of Tim Burton right now, he does do some really cool, colorful visuals, and I think that's perfect for Dumbo. So we'll see.
But I guess that sort of really enhances the whole, if something concerns me, I'm so much more concerned because it's Tim Burton.
Right.
And while I also love some Tim Burton stuff, in recent years he's disappointed many times, and he's probably done. I haven't seen all of his recent movies. I actually didn't hate his Planet of the Apes movie.
I didn't either. You know what?
I thought it was an okay Planet of the Apes movie.
I actually didn't hate it because
I kind of liked it.
I enjoyed that they took the old film and put the humans in costumes.
Yeah, it was still humans in costumes, and
I love the new ones too. But
in truth, I don't really see why people have a problem with that movie. And we love the classic Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, all 5 of them, and the TV show and the cartoon.
Yeah.
But I have concerns when I hear Tim Burton's name, and I mean, I kind of I'm okay, Willy Wonka, right? But then he came and did Dark Shadows, one of our favorite subjects, and he just
botched it.
And you would have thought, oh, Tim Burton, he's going to make a fantastic Dark Shadows. Barnabas Collins, played by Johnny Depp, that's amazing.
Yep.
Was practically unrecognizable as the character. I mean, that wasn't Barnabas Collins.
And I'll tell you what, dude. It all has to do with the director and what direction they're going to go.
And I can still watch that for entertainment value.
Johnny Depp might have had a little more pull in that movie. He might have had the weird idea also. But yeah, I still watch that movie just for comedic reasons. It is weird.
Kind of a comedy. It was kind of intentionally a comedy of Dark Shadows, but that's not what anybody wanted. The fans didn't want a comedy Dark Shadows.
The fans wanted a remake of the 90s revival because that is the best incarnation of Dark Shadows.
The 90s revival was taking Dark Shadows and perfecting it. And of course, because it was the same guy behind the show, the creator, Dan Curtis. He's the one who came back and did the 90s version. And so it was like a perfected version. And if it had not been canceled after one season, it would have been so amazing with Quentin probably coming on. I just feel like they would have brought in Quentin and it would have been amazing.
Oh, I know.
But anyway, not a Disney movie.
Sorry, guys.
Not a Disney movie. But anyway, we have our concerns now after we've been burned a few times by Tim Burton, who in general we're fans of. But yeah, lately.
So the last one is Aladdin?
Is that the very last one?
So.
Well, of these live action animated films, yes. But there's still the Star Wars Marvel things.
Oh.
But yeah, the last live action film from an animated classic is what would you say it was? Aladdin.
Okay, so they announced Will Smith as the genie. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, because I expect somebody who's, I mean, you're talking about Robin Williams. He's got to fill in the role of Robin Williams.
Not only that, but I saw that live action, I saw that amazing portrayal as Genie in the Aladdin Broadway
The Broadway show guy,
which,
they should get that guy in.
The Broadway show wasn't even that great, but he was
The Genie was amazing on the Broadway show. When did we see that? It was a few years ago.
It was like 4 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
Maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago? No.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
I think it was.
Okay, well anyway, we went to New York, we saw Aladdin on Broadway. Not super impressed by the show.
No.
But I found the theater kind of like
it had the feeling of a high school production.
I think it was better. I didn't feel that way.
The stars
I think it was such a small venue that's how I felt. I felt like this is kind of a small, because we had just seen Phantom and it was this big glorious theater. And it was such a big, lavish production.
Dude, it wasn't just the theater. The background cast of that show was horrible. They could not dance.
The theater is what made me feel like it was a high school show. Not the show so
awful.
Much. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but the Genie was amazing.
He was really good, yeah. So anyway, Will Smith, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I think he might be great. But when I think of like replacing Robin Williams' Genie, I'm like, Oh, you got to get a comedian, like a real comedian. I mean, I know that Will Smith did comedy.
No.
I know Will Smith did comedy on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he was great, and it was a hilarious show, and we all grew up with it and loved it. And maybe he'll be great if he can get back into that mode, because ever since then, he's done movies where he's like the badass.
Or, yeah, like action films, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't seen him do comedy. I can't remember last, except maybe Fresh Prince.
Who knows? I'm rooting for you. I'm hoping that you're good.
I'm going to cross my fingers that he's going to be great, but I would have been thinking like Jim Carrey, or there was somebody else in the running. There was a comedian, was it Kevin Hart maybe was in the running? I don't know how good Kevin Hart would be.
Jim Carrey.
I don't know if he has the right look or tone. I think that Will Smith will look great as a genie.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he's got the comedic chops.
Right.
But he definitely is good at comedy, or he was a long time ago.
And who are the other characters?
I don't know. I'm hopeful. I don't know. I didn't even write down the guy who played Aladdin because I don't know him. Okay. The guy who's playing Jasmine is the girl. I didn't write her name down, but she's the new pink Power Ranger in the movie, the Power Rangers movie, which I did see.
And it was good?
The movie was actually really good, and I'm not a Power Rangers fan. I just, I mean, I would casually watch it.
Can you see her in that role?
I can see her in that role. And she's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Let's see if they can sing.
I assume it'll be a musical, and they'll do all the songs and everything. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem from now on. Are they gonna be able to sing?
Don't auto-tune it, Disney.
Are they gonna auto-tune? They might get in the habit of that. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my gosh! I just had this horrible vision of an auto-tuned version of Genie's song, and it's like one of those horrible rap things.
Genie? Like you're doing a horrible Genie rap or something?
Please don't.
Don't auto-tune a rap. Oh, you mean that kind of like that's kind of funny when they do that.
No, it's
not. They do it on
anymore.
Adventure Time a lot.
It's not funny anymore. It needs to go away.
Okay, well anyway. No, I wouldn't want to see the Genie doing that. One of the old ones we didn't mention, that it's not old, but there are actually two. Oh,
Pete's Dragon.
They did Pete's Dragon recently, and I
didn't get to see it.
Well, and I've got all these movies. I just can't get you to watch them
because I am a purist.
We love the original Pete's Dragon. A lot of people that reviewed the new one and actually really liked it, like Cinema Snob, who I also like to watch, and he likes the new one a lot. And he could care less about the old one. We love the old one. I
don't agree with Cinema Snob on a lot of things.
Oh, I don't agree with him on a lot of things. I just find him entertaining a lot. But he's good at what he does. But I often don't agree. But I like more like kiddie type stuff than he does, But Pete's Dragon, the old one, the musical, we love it.
Incredible.
And the new one was hardly at all like that, but it did try to capture a 70s feel, not the kind that was in that movie.
But like a gritty
but
70s?
more like the Napoleon and Samantha kind of vibe.
Interesting.
An old Disney 70s movie there. And The Bears and I, and all these like the Disney nature type films where somebody's trying to save a bobcat from deforestation or whatever, that kind of stuff. That's what Pete's Dragon was like.
What was the movie that I just watched with Parent Trap Dad and
Brian Keith?
Yes.
And
who I love.
That was
the duck movie.
Geese. It was about geese.
That was such a great movie, and I can't remember.
Yeah, every once in a while I get an old Disney movie that I've never even seen.
It was amazing.
We watched one recently. Probably from the 60s maybe, or was it older? And it was that was called Those Callaways.
Those Callaways. You guys should see that one.
We love those old Disney movies. So yeah, that's about that. Oh, well, wait, one more that they did a great job on, and it's really practically the first one they did, 101 Dalmatians.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was we loved that.
Glenn Close, oh my gosh.
I actually even thought that the sequel was not too bad, but of course I don't know if anyone even saw that. But they say, and this has nothing to do with D23 because it wasn't an announcement or anything, but there's been a lot of talk that they're going to try to do a Cruella de Vil movie.
Interesting.
That would be, I don't know what to say.
I liked the girl who played her on Once Upon a Time.
If they're gonna do it, get Cruella from Once Upon a Time. She's so perfect. She was. I mean, as much as we loved Glenn Close, the one from Once Upon a Time was way closer to the animated version of Cruella de Vil. But anyway, so live action Disney. The one thing we didn't talk about is well, the two things: Marvel and Star Wars. Marvel, we all know they're coming out with Infinity War,
which I am really excited.
You're actually excited.
I am so
sometimes you're excited about Marvel movies, and sometimes you're not.
I'm not. But this is, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I just saw Spider-Man, and it was incredible. And
which is actually a Sony movie, but then they couldn't have made it without Disney's cooperation. I
am hugely, enormously into Guardians of the Galaxy, and the fact that they're going to be in this too. And I love, you know. I love the characters. I love the Avengers. It's just that sometimes it gets.
You've loved the Captain America movies.
Yeah, and Iron Man.
But you didn't love Civil War. I love Civil War. You just liked the fight scene, but you didn't like everything else about it.
No, I thought it was the other one. I thought it was.
No, we went to see Cap 3.
DC that I didn't like.
DC. Well, you didn't like. No, she hated Superman versus Batman.
Oh God.
Batman versus Superman. But
horrible.
As a Batman Superman junkie, I can watch that stuff anyway, but yeah, it's very flawed. But Wonder Woman was amazing.
Oh, Wonder Woman, yes.
But
back to Disney.
But back to Disney, back to Marvel. Yeah, I mean, you loved Ant-Man.
Oh yeah.
And Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. And like I bet some of them you probably won't care to see. And I know that I took you to see Captain America 3 Civil War. The only part that you liked was the airport battle because it had Spider-Man and he was awesome.
Okay.
And you liked it. You said that anything with any parts that had Spider-Man were awesome.
Yeah.
And you didn't like any of the rest of it.
Okay. I don't remember. I would have to see.
You loved Doctor Strange.
Oh God, yeah.
She loves Doctor Strange.
It's like, and I can see, it's funny because I have certain tastes in things, and Doctor Strange is very much my taste of things. And so is Guardians is like totally my taste in things with like the music and the alien aspect, and I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, so it's like those kind of and Harry Potter, like, you know what I mean? Like Doctor Strange is kind of Harry Potter-ish, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not the biggest superhero person except for like Christopher Reeve's Superman and Michael Keaton Batman, things like that.
Well, I grew up with superheroes, and not as much of a comic book superhero reader because I read Star Wars comics and I read Uncle Scrooge and all that stuff. But superheroes for me, I grew up with the cartoons, and I grew up with Christopher Reeve. His movies were coming out when I was little, and so that was, I mean, I was like really little, but it was like wow.
Yeah.
And they were rerunning Adam West's Batman, Adam West.
Well, I loved that stuff when I was a little girl, but I was more of like the detective type girl, like into like the, you know, and you're into Kolchak too.
Well, I'm into, I was always into all the horror stuff, and of course anything Disney and Muppets. And,
I guess I'm hugely sci-fi. I'm hugely into sci-fi.
And I dabble in anime, but Sailor Moon has been the biggest thing for me, and Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli. I can't remember how to say that, Ghibli or Ghibli. But anyway. But yeah, we like a lot of different things. But yeah, superheroes, I've always been a fan, and the old Hulk TV show. But anyway, yeah, so I'm excited for anything Marvel, and I usually go the first night.
So I'm super excited about this one.
So, but you're talking about Infinity War. But they've got the Black Panther movie coming out. I don't know if you even remember.
I don't even know. See, I'm not excited about that.
Because you don't remember anything from Civil War except for Spider-Man, and he was awesome in Civil War. But what else? They've got Ant-Man 2 coming out. Yeah, I know you'll like that one.
Is Civil War the one where his friend... Please excuse me.
She doesn't remember which one's Civil War.
Is Civil War the one where his friend is, they turned his friend evil?
Yeah, well...
No, I really liked that one.
No, well, I mean, you might be thinking of Cap 2, which is where they first introduced him.
No, he turned his friend evil, and he was falling off of like a thing at the end. And so his friend was falling off of something at the end. He was evil.
That happens a lot
They were putting chemicals in him to turn him
Yeah,
evil?
but what they ended up doing was the Black Panther took him to his facility out in
Dude, I
in
really
Africa.
liked that movie.
You told me you hated that movie when we were
Unless
walking
I'm
out of
thinking
it.
of Cap
You said
2.
the only thing I liked in that movie was Spider-Man. That's what you said.
Unless I'm thinking of
You're
Cap
thinking
2.
probably of Cap 2.
Okay.
That was Civil War is Cap 3.
Okay.
And it was amazing. But anyway.
I was going through a little phase though where I
Well,
was
you were kind of sick
I
of she
hate
was sick of
superheroes.
superhero movies.
And then Guardians
I think it
came
was
out,
partly
like-
because of Batman, Superman. And
Yeah,
all that.
probably.
But anyway, yeah, I forget what all's coming out, but I know it's Ant-Man and Wasp is coming out,
Yeah.
and you love Ant-Man.
Oh, you know what got me back on the superhero stuff? It was
Was it Spider-Man?
no, it was
Oh, it was Doctor Strange. We already mentioned
no,
that.
it was
Wonder Woman.
no. Oh my god, I can't think of him. The smart ass one.
Smart ass one. Iron Man?
No, I don't think he's a Disney.
Oh, Deadpool.
Deadpool. That's what got me back on it.
He is Disney, but the movie was not
Okay.
because somebody else has the right. Fox has the rights to make movies of Deadpool, and sadly Disney hasn't gotten them back.
Deadpool was what got me back into it. I
Yeah,
think.
but there will be another Deadpool
Yeah.
movie soon, and we're excited about that. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be Disney, even though they own the character.
That's sad.
They don't own the rights to make movies with him. Yeah, that is sad. But then there's Star Wars.
Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
There's two movies, and I don't know. They didn't talk much about Han Solo movie because there's been a big issue about the fact that they fired the directors.
Yeah, I heard
and
about
they
that.
replaced them with Ron Howard, which,
I have faith in you, Ron Howard.
well, I mean,
I think you can do it.
yeah, I'm sure.
It might be totally weird and
Well,
different.
I can't remember. The last Ron Howard movie that I can think of seeing was The Grinch. And it's possible that I saw some others, and I just don't remember. And I know that he did some good movies before that, and I can't remember what they are. But I don't remember which movies he directed, but he's directed some really great classics. And I did like The Grinch. Some people hate The Grinch, but I liked it.
I liked it. Good.
And I get why people don't like it, but I liked it. I'm a Christmas sucker for Christmas movies,
Yeah.
you know. But
Except for.
but like I don't watch all that Angels
Except
and
for Polar
Demons and all that.
Express.
Oh yeah, Polar Express. I don't know. Did he do that? No, that was Robert Zemeckis.
No, that was just
who used to be the greatest director of all time, with Roger Rabbit and Back to
I
the
know,
Future and all
I
that.
know.
And
Back
then
to the
he
Future.
and then he started doing all that horrible motion capture animation.
Oh, God, why?
Oh, but anyway, I mean, I shouldn't say greatest director of all time. That's probably Spielberg. But
Yes.
but the thing is, Robert Zemeckis directed my favorite film of all time, which is Who Framed Roger
Right,
Rabbit.
Right.
But anyway, if you couldn't tell, but you can kind of see the posters back there from Roger Rabbit. But anyway, besides the Han Solo movie, there is the big one for this year, this Christmas. And by the way, I'm excited for the Han Solo movie. A lot of people are saying, we don't want it, we don't want it.
Why?
They don't want a Han Solo movie? What the hell's the matter with you? I want a Han Solo movie. Maybe because Harrison Ford's not going to be in it. I don't know. But,
Yeah, I guess.
and I would get that, but I mean, what are you going to do? You can make a CGI Han Solo movie. And
Please don't.
I don't know. I'm not going to say don't, but The Last Jedi is the one this year.
Yeah.
This Christmas, and I'm super excited. And they kind of said in this panel, like whenever they were talking about Last Jedi, that it was going to be, there was going to be some big thing about this film that was
That
going
would
to be
change Star Wars forever?
Yeah, a big Star Wars element that was going to be something different, something new and different, that was going to kind of mind-blowing kind of a
Yeah.
thing. Maybe I'm overblowing that, but
They said it. I mean,
yeah, but we heard that from like secondhand. I think we heard that secondhand. I'm not sure, but from like the other podcasts. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But we're excited for that movie. We're gonna be there
Absolutely.
opening night and everything.
Absolutely.
We always are for Star Wars. I wish Felicity Jones would be in it somehow.
I think I like Rogue One better than
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. I don't know though. They've got two different feels.
They're totally different. I love them both. A lot of people hate them, you know, just like as if they were the prequels or something. I don't know.
It's strange.
I loved them both, but yeah, I love Jenner, so everybody
So we've got
knows.
a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, we're excited.
A few things to be kind of scared of,
Yeah.
but hey, we'll always have those old films anyway,
Yeah.
so we'll
So,
see.
yeah. Well, okay, we're going to talk about parks, and we're going to talk about, I think there's some random things, but yeah. We're talking about the live action Disney movies. I'm going to edit this in because I forgot to mention, I'm pretty sure we forgot to mention Mulan.
Oh.
They're making a live action Mulan.
Okay.
What do you think about that? You don't care?
I'm okay with it.
Aren't you a big fan of Mulan? I am.
Yeah, I really like
The
Mulan.
original movie, the original animated movie. Well, the interesting thing is, are they going to make it a remake of the animated film, or is this just going to be a Mulan movie? Because that's like an old Chinese legend that may be based on, I believe it's based on a real person. So they might be going realistic with it.
Maybe.
Or they might be going with the animated version. Do you have a preference? Would you rather see them do the animated version?
I'd rather see the animated version.
That would be interesting.
I think at this point they're hitting us too much.
It seems like that's probably what they're going to
like
do.
Overly saturated, you know, like
with the live action
yeah,
animation?
I mean,
But you still want to see that.
No, I really don't care.
You just said, well, okay.
I don't care.
I'm interested either way, but
I mean, I'll go see it.
Yeah.
For sure.
no, I mean, like Mulan is really cool, and I would either way would be cool.
Yeah.
I assume it's going to be based on the animated version, but who knows? We watched Once Upon a Time, where they have like live action versions of the
Right.
sometimes totally based on the animated ones, and sometimes not. So I like the Mulan they have on that one. Okay, well, I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, we're running low on batteries, so let's talk about the parks
let's do
as
it.
quick as we can,
So-
even though it's a big thing.
And actually, this is probably the stuff that I'm most excited about.
We've been going a lot. We used to go to the parks a lot when we were kids. You were really little.
Yeah.
And mainly Florida. I went to
Right.
California once when I was like 5. I have memories of it, but it was one time. We need to get back over there.
But for the last 5 years, we've been going at
we
least
revived
once a year.
our tradition of going to Disney World.
Yeah, once a year, if not twice a year sometimes. But
And it's mostly been either at Christmas or
Halloween, right?
Lately Halloween. We're going back Halloween. We love what they do. They bring out Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
my
so
God,
good.
we're huge Hocus Pocus people. So that really partly is what brought us over there. And we do go to Universal a little bit.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of big news about the parks. In fact, they say this is what was the main things that they were
Let's
talking about.
save the best one for last.
Well, I've just got things written down randomly, but anyway. Okay, well, let's talk about some. This isn't all news. Some of it we kind of knew about. Like they changed the Pirates of the, or they're gonna change Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody knows about that they're changing the redhead in Pirates of the Caribbean.
And I don't know if they're doing this. I guess they're doing it in California
I think they're doing
too.
it in Disneyland also. And what I heard was during the D23 convention when they announced this, that I believe they're doing it in Disneyland, that everybody was booing. And one of the Disney officials had to come out and say, come on, you guys, and schmooze it over. But how do you feel about it? Oh, well.
Okay, well, what they're doing is it's the famous scene, and they're making other little changes too. And some of them are just better animatronics and stuff.
It's the auction scene.
But it's the auction scene where they were actually auctioning off women, which I get is a big controversial thing.
But it's also
these are pirates.
Accurate.
Probably, we don't know, but it's probably historically accurate.
Sure it was.
They're going to be doing horrible things. They're pirates. I mean, at least they don't have them. They could be doing a lot worse stuff.
It's the famous scene where the pirate says, "We wants the redhead."
And it's one of the classic scenes. It's one of the favorite characters, and so they are keeping the redhead. They've made her a pirate. And I guess the real issue I have is what they've changed it. They're going to change it to. It's already changed in France in. France Disney World Paris.
They just changed it to a boring auction scene.
It's just going to be an auction, which I don't know if pirates auctioned off stuff to each other.
So they stole the stuff and now they're auctioning it off, I guess, to get.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't.
I don't know
really
if that would
happen. Maybe it did happen. I don't
Maybe.
know.
But it's just kind of boring in comparison. I mean, you don't have to keep it. I'm glad they're keeping the redhead. They found a way to do that by making her a pirate. I would rather it was left alone. But I get why some people would be bothered by it. I mean,
I'm not bothered.
I can't say much because I'm a man, so it's kind of, you got the girls.
Okay, well, I'm a female.
You got the women's
I understand about sexism and human trafficking and all that stuff, but I don't know. It's just a ride. Like, it's a pirate ride.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of human trafficking. It's just
no, that's not what I'm saying.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it's like everybody takes everything too seriously now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a joke, and I know it's like that's not a joke, but like.
I don't.
You know, people used to have a lighter sense of humor.
They did.
Everything wasn't so serious sometimes. I don't know. I really can't say anything because I'm a guy, but
I'm a girl, and the whole scene never bothered me before. So I don't know.
A lot of the people that are up in arms about it are females. You know, so it's not just guys that don't want it changed.
I don't know.
But anyway, so they are changing that. There's nothing gonna stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like devastated.
No, me either.
But I just feel like they should come up with something more interesting than just an auction. I don't even know if that's something that was done. But anyway, it's my favorite Disney ride. Maybe tied with Star Tours. I know that a lot of people don't get that, but I love Star Tours.
Yeah.
That's how big of a Star Wars fan I am.
Well, wait. I'm a huge Star Wars fan too.
Yeah, but I'm a bigger Star Wars fan.
Wait a second. No. Don't start a fight with me about this.
I was born in the 70s, and I had like the original action figures that I still have.
That doesn't matter. Just because you have action figures doesn't mean you're a bigger fan of something.
Do you have any Star Wars action figures?
I have a bajillion Star Wars shirts and a bajillion Star Wars shoes. Just because I express myself differently with my Star Wars love doesn't mean that I'm less of a fan than you are.
Have you read any of the novels or anything?
Yes, I have.
Which one?
A few. I don't remember what they were.
Okay. But let's move on.
My brother-in-law lent them to me, and I read them.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the Pirates is changing, and yeah, like I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. It's Haunted Mansion. To me, I love Haunted Mansion. I don't know. I might like Pirates a little more. And better be open during the Halloween season because I don't know when this change is happening.
No kidding.
Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios, that's opening soon. Again, this is not breaking news, but it was discussed at D23.
Yeah.
So what do you think about a Toy Story Land that is opening? Have you seen any of the
Yeah, I saw Slinky
visuals?
Dog Slinky Dog coaster and stuff like that. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm not a huge Toy Story Midway Mania fan. I don't even know if I've done that.
We've never ridden that. We've actually never
I'm not a
ridden
huge fan of like the whole
Toy Story thing, or
no.
I know you love the movies, but like outside of the movies.
I'm not a huge fan of like the kind of carnival game that is where you're just like shooting at things.
But is that what Midway? That is what Midway Mania is. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
But
of that.
Toy Story Land, of course, is like a coaster.
It's basically like Toy Story Buzz Lightyear ride.
Like I'm wondering if Toy Story Land is going to be like a really expensive version of that Dino Land USA over in Animal Kingdom. Like maybe people aren't realizing it yet, just because it's Toy Story and they're going to be more expensive looking, but. Still, is it kind of the same kind of things? Maybe not. But I love Toy Story, but it's not something that I really care about it being at the parks that much. I mean, merchandise okay.
That's sad.
In the parades and stuff. Well, I love. You know what? I take that back. I love the Buzz Lightyear ride. I really do, and I love Buzz Lightyear and everything. And I think it fits in Tomorrowland, unlike the Monsters Inc. laugh floor that should be over at Hollywood Studios. But
I don't care for the Buzz Lightyear ride either.
I do love. I love.
I'm saying I don't.
Oh, you don't care for that either. Okay, I see what you mean. Well, I do like that one, and I think it goes in Tomorrowland well enough.
It's like a lot of Tomorrowland I don't care for.
You always used to say that was your favorite.
Like Monsters Laugh
They kind
Floor.
of ruined it though, haven't they?
Like
They've kind
Laugh
of
Floor, I don't care. It used to be my...
I haven't done the Laugh. I've never done the Laugh Floor.
It used to be my favorite when Alien Encounters was there. That's when it used to be my favorite.
It's not your favorite anymore?
It is my favorite in the... No, I wouldn't say it's my favorite land, but it has my favorite...
Carousel of Progress.
It has my favorite ride, which is Carousel of Progress. And one of my other favorite rides, which is the People Mover.
Yeah, I love those rides.
And I used to really like Space Mountain, but the last couple times I've been on it, I have been sitting in the back, so my back is killing me by the time I get out of there. So
I always in Space Mountain, I always feel like I'm gonna hit a low beam.
Yeah.
Like my head is gonna I'm gonna get decapitated in Space Mountain. So I always ride it like this. I think I might be that way on most roller coasters. I think I just have this fear that I've a lifelong phobia of being decapitated. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I think in a previous life, I think I was decapitated.
Mine is drowning by tsunami. So there you go.
Wow. Yeah, you've talked about that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But yeah, I have like phantom decapitation
that's
sensing
weird.
Like feeling, you know.
I just don't like people touching my neck, but.
But yeah, Toy Story Land, Hollywood Studios. I'm not super excited about it, and I love Toy Story. I collect like the replicas of the Toy Story characters, the actual like Toy Story collection replicas. I love those movies. I don't really get it. I don't get the idea of riding on a Slinky Dog roller coaster.
See,
I don't know. It's just not a.
I'm actually okay. I'm actually excited about that. What I am not into is Cars Land, even though I am huge into like the 1950s and all that stuff, and I feel like I might like it in that aspect. But I'm not a huge Cars fan.
You've only seen the first movie,
right? And it wasn't that great to me, so. I would much prefer a Toy Story Land over a Cars Land.
The Cars movies are my least favorite Pixar movies, but I still find them very, very good.
Yeah.
It just, least of the Pixar. Something's got to be the least, you know? But yeah, I mean, I don't get to, I do, I just bumped the camera, but I do feel that they're overblown, the whole Cars thing. But I actually am excited to see Cars Land someday because I think it looks really well done.
Yeah. I would like to see it at Christmas time.
And I do love that they
just announced that they're going to do a Halloween.
Oh yeah, that's another announcement actually. Cars Land is going to have a Halloween.
Which could be really cool.
Whatever, just they're going to deck it out for Halloween.
And I know I said I didn't like Cars Land, but I've never been to Cars Land, but I have a feeling that I would prefer Toy Story Land over that. But anyway, if you add Halloween to anything, I like it, so.
Well, it's funny because I'm interested in Cars Land, even though I really hate, I hate that, what is it called now? It's in Magic Kingdom in Florida, it's called Tomorrowland Speedway.
Autopia.
I think they still call it Autopia in Disneyland, do they? I don't know what they call it in Disneyland, but at one point it was Autopia. Originally, right?
I thought did they remove it from Disneyland? I don't know.
No, I think I don't know. Maybe it's not in Disneyland anymore, but it's in Florida, and I've never liked it. We used to drive to Florida to go to Disney World.
So why do you want to drive
Why do I want to drive a car around now that I'm here? I just don't get it. And it's very much a Six Flags kind of thing, the Tomorrowland Speedway. So when they said they might replace it, when they were bringing in a Tron roller coaster, which is an announcement, big announcement, Tron roller coaster. I was like, that sounds awesome, and I'm not a roller coaster guy. I don't ride any that go upside down unless I really am coerced.
That's how I am too.
Something really has to get me on it if it's going to go upside down.
I'll go on that.
I might go on Tron if it does. I don't know if Tron goes upside down, but I still might go on it.
I will go on it. Yeah.
But I definitely am going to go on it if it doesn't go upside down because I am excited that they're doing something for Tron. I think that's awesome. I love any presence of live action Disney in the parks, and lately it's only been Pirates, and they've taken out so much. They've taken out 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Broke my heart when they took out the lagoon and the submarines from Magic Kingdom in Florida.
Well, they said they were going to remove People Mover if they were going to take Autopia out, which would have devastated me. I love People Mover.
I don't want People Mover to go. Autopia, Tomorrowland Speedway. That's the only thing that I don't mind sacrificing right now. But apparently they're putting Tron in some area that's not used. It's like...
Yeah, it's going to be behind.
Yeah, some behind area. So, like behind Space Mountain or something.
Next to Space Mountain, but behind.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about Tron. But I didn't mean to jump ahead. What were we talking about? We were talking about the Cars Land Halloween. And all I wanted to add to that, besides the fact that we love Halloween, and I'm excited to see that someday, because we never go to California yet. But hopefully we will. Because there's a lot I want to see there before it's gone. I feel like Toontown is going to disappear before I get there, and I've got to ride the Roger Rabbit ride.
I know. I want to ride the Indiana Jones ride.
I want to ride Indy. I want to ride Alice and Pinocchio, and what I remember from when I was a kid, the boats that go through Monstro the Whale, and they come out the other end, and they're in a little fairy tale land. I remember that from when I was a kid, and also Dumbo Circus Train also goes through the same area.
That sounds amazing.
And I want to ride that again, but it's been a long time since I've been to California, but that would be cool. But and Indiana Jones. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. Hopefully they don't take away a lot of people are always saying they should get rid of the stunt show, and I'm like, what? No, because they
no, it's the only indie thing there. Don't take it. Don't take it from us.
Don't take away Indiana Jones. If there's anything that rivals my love for Star Wars, it's Indiana Jones.
Which leads us to something that they're taking away in
wait. I never got to say the one thing about the Halloween in Cars Land. Is they better dress Mater up like Dracula like they did in Cars 2. That was awesome. Yeah. But they are going to be in costume, the cars and stuff.
That's awesome.
What were you going to say?
I was saying that leads us to something that they're taking away in Hollywood Studios, and that is the Great Movie Ride, which...
well, actually, you know what? I was watching the videos, and they were kind of saying that they never officially said it was going. They haven't officially said that in the Great Movie Ride building.
No. They just released in an article that they said that they said in order to make room for the new ride, which is going to be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yeah.
In order to get rid of that, they're going to have to remove the Great Movie Ride. Especially because their contract with Turner Classic Movies is actually over now, and so they don't have some of the rights to some of the films that they're using in the Great Movie Ride. So they're just gonna get it.
That sucks. Love the Great Movie Ride. I'm excited for the new Mickey ride. It's how long? I mean, God, it's time that Mickey has a ride.
Yeah, I mean.
He's had shows before, but it is time that he has a ride.
The Great Movie Ride was deteriorating. Like, they weren't.
Yeah, they needed to fix it up.
They weren't doing anything to it, which makes me really sad. The actors the ones that we were experiencing, didn't have any of that passion anymore for it, so they were just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah.
I loved that they added Robert Osborne in the last couple of years because I love Robert Osborne and I love Turner Classic Movies, and I'm tearing up again just thinking about it, but it makes me sad that Turner Classic Movies didn't continue it for a little bit longer, and I don't know, maybe put some money into it to help
that's the thing. It didn't seem like they put much money into it.
Maybe when Robert Osborne passed away, they kind of didn't even care.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
who knows? But anyway, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is going to be.
I'm excited for that, but the theories that people had sounded better. For one thing, back in the day when they added the Muppets, they wanted to do a lot more with the Muppets, but Jim Henson's kids didn't allow it, and Disney didn't own the Muppets yet.
Right.
So they ended up, of course, not having space eventually for the ideas that they had, which was a much bigger Muppet area. And they were going to have a ride that was the Muppets the Muppet Movie Ride, which was a parody of the Great Movie Ride.
That's awesome.
But it was going to be in the Muppet section.
Yeah.
And some people thought maybe they'll put that in the Great Movie Ride finally, you know. And then other people said, well, they're going to do a Mickey ride, but maybe it'll be a Mickey parody or Mickey going through
all the
Disney's movies, Disney's musicals, which would have been preferential to what they're doing. What they're doing supposedly has amazing technology that is like groundbreaking and is going to be phenomenal.
They said it's like 3D without having to use the glasses.
It's going to be like going into a cartoon, which makes me think this would have been the time to do the ultimate Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
But nobody cares about Roger Rabbit, supposedly. But if you made a ride that was the most unbelievable experience ever,
that would be amazing.
People would care about Roger Rabbit again, and without even finally making that sequel that they
would be so
kept
awesome.
teasing us about and never happened. But it seems to me like a wasted opportunity as a huge Roger Rabbit fanatic.
But Mickey is getting his first ride.
I think it's going to be cool. I don't know if it's going to blow me away the way they say, but we'll see. Sometimes that stuff doesn't.
Honestly, I thought I was going to be a little more upset with the removal of the Great Movie Ride.
Great Movie Ride?
I really thought I was going to be upset.
I might be more upset than you because I'm kind of, the more I think about it, the more I'm sad about that.
Like, see, but then I think about the imagery at the end of the ride where they were showing all the movies. Everybody says they hate that part of the. They hated that part of the ride, but that's like my favorite part. I'd be crying, you know, watching those scenes. So
the montage.
The montage. So I don't know.
I like the beginning, the cue. I like the beginning, like where you go through the theater and they're showing old trailers of like Casablanca and
costumes and
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I mean,
my God, yeah.
When you had a good or a relatively good actor in that ride, then it was really fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. So. Sigourney Weaver did not look how she should.
Yeah, it didn't look like Sigourney Weaver too much, but yeah, and some of the Wizard of Oz characters didn't look like. All the animatronics looked a little waxy and not really.
But I just remembered the huge scene of Wizard of Oz that is.
But yeah, I still loved it. I still loved it.
Gosh.
The animatronics weren't good, but I loved every second of it anyway. You know, but always when I rode that ride, I was like, that looks kind of fake. The characters, the people, you know, that doesn't really look like them and all that. They look really waxy and fake. But I still loved the ride, and if they had just spruced up those animatronic, put new ones, it would have been amazing.
And honestly, I felt they were going in that direction because just adding Robert Osborne's voice and everything, because I grew up on Turner Classic Movies, and like Robert Osborne was a staple for me. Like he was awesome. He was, if you guys don't know, he was always the one who was introducing all the classic films and things like that. And even after the classic films, he would come back and explain things about the films, give little tidbits. But I don't know. It just it makes me sad because they were going in that direction and then they just stopped. So anyway, but I'm not totally angry and devastated. Because I think I'm excited about this Mickey thing. Had they decided to put something else in there, maybe I would have been upset.
What do you think about the fact that the Mickey ride is going to be in that new style of the new Mickey Mouse cartoon show? It's not super new anymore. I don't even know if it's still going on because fourth season hasn't happened yet.
I will say that I'm not a huge fan of the style. I do like the retro aspect of it, but if you're gonna go that way, then just go all the way and do it like the old school Mickey. But but we've been watching the recent cartoons lately, and they're actually really hilarious.
It's really funny. It's a funny show.
It's very funny.
And it's just the way the styles are now. A lot of cartoons look like that now.
Yeah. If they keep that like crassness with Mickey and stuff like that, it could be really funny.
I don't know if we'll see that in the ride at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you know, the ride it's just that they chose to go with that look, I think. And
well, it's like, look, like this is not the.
That's more of the old,
this is the old school look. I mean, why don't you just go with that? But whatever.
Well, that's not the way it works. But I don't know. I'm okay with it. It's kind of weird though. They're finally giving Mickey a ride, and it's not like, because that look is the look of that show. That's not the Mickey look that will be the permanent. Ever since, like, I don't know, the 40s, they landed the final Mickey look. I know he's looked a little different throughout further decades, but for the most part, he's looked the same.
Oh, my favorite
since the 40s.
My favorite is 80s Mickey.
For the most part. And 80s Mickey, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, again, like I say, ever since the 40s, he basically has the same look. There's slight, subtle differences.
Right.
And I like that look. And then this was a big change, you know.
When I was a little girl, and I mean like very little, maybe 2 or 3, I had a birthday party, and for one of my presents, I received this. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but it was like this projection thing where I think it was Mickey Mouse's birthday party or something, and it was a projection, and it was pop-up, and it told a story.
Did that thing ever work?
Yeah.
I remember you had
it. It definitely worked, but it was like my favorite thing, my favorite
I don't
toy
ever remember seeing
when
it
I was
in
a little
action.
girl.
Yeah.
Dad and I would play with it, you know, and it was awesome, but I don't remember exactly what it was about, but I do know I think it was about a birthday party. Anyway,
it's a really weird, obscure toy that most people probably wouldn't remember.
But I remember it so vividly.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of the ride. So I'm kind of really interested to see it because it gives me that weird feeling that toy gave me for some reason. And I haven't even ridden the ride, obviously, but I don't know, just the thought of like a Mickey Mouse story, I guess. I don't know.
I used to have these things called color forms, which were these like, you'd get this like cardboard backdrop. And I had this really cool one that was like, it was like a building, and I don't remember, I think it was like maybe a theater, like in the city type, the theater, and it was Mickey Mouse, and it was in the old school style. And it was Mickey and Goofy and everybody, Horace and everybody. And what color forms were they were like stickers, but they weren't stickers, they were plastic.
Oh, and they would like, you would just slap them. I like those. Yeah.
Stick to the cardboard. It was very like, you know, shiny cardboard, and they would stick from like static.
And you could place them anywhere you wanted to.
Yeah, and you would make a scene with those, and I had those, and I used to chew on them too.
Ew.
But yeah, I had a really neat set of Mickey, like old school Mickey, like that Mickey back there, and all of his old school friends. It was really cool.
I would like to find out.
You gotta look that up, get that off eBay someday.
I would like to find out what that toy was. But you know what I just remembered? It was, I think there were 2 different adventures that you could have with that toy that I was talking about. It was like Mickey's birthday, and then also a picnic.
And it was, I didn't even know it was a Disney toy.
There was a picnic thing, and then they would have like a big picnic, and I don't know.
That's
it was
weird.
just awesome.
I have to see that somewhere, somehow, because I don't remember it ever working.
I'll have to figure out what it was.
Yeah, anyway, hey, so before we get to the 2 big things that we're into, let's finish up the other park stuff. Pirates, Toy Story, Pixar Pier, and Disney California Adventure. We haven't been to California Adventure ever.
I feel like Disneyland kind of got shafted.
Well, yeah, some people have pointed that out. It kind of got shafted. Hey, they're getting a Star Wars land too, so
yeah, true.
Not a Star Wars hotel, but we'll get to that in a minute. Everybody's knows, but yeah, they're changing Paradise Pier to Pixar Pier.
Right.
This is some area of California Adventure that we don't know anything about, but I think it might be a boardwalk type thing.
Probably.
With like boardwalk
Makes
games
sense.
and stuff, and they're just going to make it more Pixar themed.
Yeah.
With supposedly all types of Pixar things. And yeah, they're really going Pixar crazy right now. I love Pixar. I love old school Disney, and you don't see much old school Disney.
And I know you love the princesses, but as much, I mean, just like, I'm good with taking attention away from the princesses because I'm sick of the princesses. I'm so sick
I love Pixar, but I don't get sick of princesses.
Oh, Lord. I prefer Pixar over Princess.
I'll never get sick of Ariel, and I'll never get sick of Rapunzel. Those are my, and I love Cinderella, and I love the other girls too. I'll take any princess you can give me. But
Tiana, you're awesome, and Merida, you're awesome, and Leia.
Oh yeah, Leia.
That's
Leia.
about it.
Really? Please, you love those movies, Snow White and all those movies.
Well, yeah, no. I'm not saying I don't love those movies. It's just like the princesses.
Yeah.
They're always with the.
I love them all.
It's always about a guy.
No. Okay, I'm going over my notes here. What did we miss? Hollywood Studios, money. I guess we're gonna come to the big stuff. Oh, real quick. Marvel is going to, they didn't get specific. They're going to have a lot more Marvel at California Adventure.
That's cool.
Probably around the new Guardians
Yeah,
of
they're
the
trying
Galaxy.
to incorporate the Guardians.
Some people think, but they didn't say this, some people think it's going to be like replacing some kind of Bug's Life thing they have there, but they didn't actually say that. And it makes more sense for it to be around the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm just so happy that they are not replacing our Hollywood Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah. Not yet anyway, but they probably won't because it's good to have something different, you know.
Yeah.
And we love our Tower of Terror, although
Twilight Zone.
some people say they might take that Twilight Zone.
Please do not take the Twilight Zone out.
The idea is that that Disney doesn't really want to be relying on other intellectual properties that they've licensed, like Twilight Zone and stuff. But that's just, again, even that is not something that was officially stated. And if that's true, what's the heck is Pandora doing over there? Which, as awesome as Pandora might have turned out, it's still based on a movie that is just kind of meh. And you haven't even seen it, right? Disney has so many movies that they own themselves, and
they could have made it into an amazing Sleeping Beauty land, or not an Animal Kingdom.
Well, yeah, but the point was to do something with Animal Kingdom, and Zootopia. A lot of people have pointed out would have been brilliant there, which another movie you haven't seen, but it's a brilliant movie, awesome movie. But really, they have so many things they could have done with that, so many. And Pandora, that movie, Avatar, wasn't even that special,
Honestly, that park, I know it's beautiful. It's supposed to be beautiful.
Oh, I love that park. I love Animal Kingdom.
No. Oh, well,
I mean
the section of the park. I love Animal Kingdom too, but I'm talking about Pandora, yeah. I know that it's supposed to be beautiful and all this stuff, but I have no, it's...
connection to it,
I have no desire to... It's like I feel, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah,
it's not like
as much of a big ticket thing as it is. It's not like, and the idea for it was, and I know Star Wars is more in line with this, but the idea of we're matching up with Harry Potter, where it's a really immersive experience, but. Harry Potter, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We love Harry Potter over here. It's really the only thing that we love at Universal besides Horror Nights.
And besides the E.T. ride.
Yeah, which, do they still even run that?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, we went on it, but I've heard some people have said that they don't do it anymore. I don't know if it's still open or not.
Don't tell me that.
Anyway, I don't know that for sure. But anyway, okay, so there's two big park things we're going to talk about.
Jurassic Park ride also. Sorry, guys. That's Islands of Adventure.
We do love the Jurassic Park ride.
There's a lot of things.
Seussland.
There's a lot of things about Universal that are fantastic.
Well, no, not in comparison to Disney. There is. We actually do really like the Dr. Seuss land, and
Seussland,
they've got a few good things, but it's not a lot, dude. It's not much. There's not even a lot at Universal. There's just not even a lot there.
Well, I think Pete Warner from The Diz said it great when he said that
after the announcements that they made this year, they've blown it out of the water.
Yeah.
But I will always go there for Harry Potter. It's amazing. The Harry Potter
Halloween
land.
Horror Nights. Don't forget
and Horror Nights. Yeah. Yeah, Seuss Land, it's Christmas when it's awesome to go to Seuss Land.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not that we've ever gone when it wasn't Christmas.
The Grinch breakfast and everything.
The Grinch, if you do the Grinch breakfast and the Grinch show, that's what, and the rides are fun. The Seuss rides are fun.
Oh, yeah.
So Seuss Land is actually really fun. We didn't really get to explore their Marvel Land I don't know what the deal's going to be.
I cried when I saw Jurassic Park, though. I mean,
Jurassic Park was phenomenal.
Mackerel.
That was phenomenal.
And I wish that I had gotten to see the Jaws ride and the Back to the Future ride.
But really, they should have like opened a Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And Harry.